What's going on, guys? So today, real quick video, we're going to be talking about one of the main exercises that I use to bolster and strengthen my directional picking and string changing technique. Now again, this is never something that we master, so I want to make sure we enter this with that mindset. But instead, this is something that we always continually work to improve, to get better at, and to expand upon so that we can use it in just about everything that we want to do. So as alongside that, before we jump into the main exercise as well, just know that we might need to have some prerequisite information for some of the major scale shapes, but if you're good on those scales, then this exercise is for you. So actually, the way that this works is we're going to go double speed one way and then half speed the other way, right? And so you can flip-flop that and go ascend and descend, or descend and ascend. It doesn't matter. Right, the idea is you want to burst it and basically push the tension threshold up and focus your body to take over with speeds that your brain necessarily won't be too comfortable keeping up with, right? And then slowing it down so that we can really bake in the movement and the string change and making sure that we're cutting through with this, right? And so I tend to start here. So when I first pick the guitar, I always exercise the big three, and that is directional picking or picking, legato techniques, right? And then arpeggios, which is essentially a fusion of the first two, but we could talk about those two guys in another video. So let me show you what the exercise looks like. I'm gonna burst it, and then I'm going to come back half speed or a quarter speed, whichever one feels better. So let me do that a couple times. Right, so how I'm turning that around, or I guess the pivot point that we should go over really quick, is I'm actually shaving off the very last note of the scale, right? So if I go all the way down, I get to this string here, I technically would have these three notes, but instead I'm only going to do two, and then I'm going to immediately cut back through up to the B string, and then play the scale backwards normal from there. So it would look like this. With this note, that guy, being where I change the time, right? So if I start off slow, right, or vice versa, right, that's going to be the note that I pivot from. Okay, and like I said, I start here, right? And I normally do this anywhere from like 10, 12, maybe even 15 minutes a day, but like I said, the focus here is all in this, making sure that you're cutting through, keeping your hands open, more importantly, again, pushing that tension threshold up by bouncing back and forth between these slow and fast speeds. All right, guys, that'll do it. So if you have any questions about this, make sure you ask in the comments below, or if there's something you'd like me to address, that's also the place to do it. I'll see you guys soon with another lessons video. Peace.